So I have a new theory, and this one that I want to discuss is heaven and hell. Now, when I was a child, I was beginning to be raised as a Christian, and the reason I rejected the religion at a very early age, because one day I went to Bible study and I was told that my dog was going to hell and that I would be going to heaven. Now, back then, because of the way I was raised, I didn't argue with it, but in my mind I had already made the argument that if there was nothing she could do and she was going to hell, then I was going to go with her to comfort her. And if my love for her was going to force me into heaven, I did not want to go. It didn't make any sense to me. But again, the way I was brought up is you don't argue. And I didn't. And to be honest, it wouldn't have helped anyway. It would have just spurred into a disagreement in the end, because I don't believe that the person teaching me was open enough to change their idea. They are still the same to this day. For some reason, they just don't like animals and find them as lowly. But here's my theory. I want to believe that the translation is wrong. I want to believe that it doesn't mean hell in the way that they are saying. I want to believe that hell in the translation is what I'm calling survival mode. And if that is the case, then it is true. I believe that animals are forever stuck in survival mode. They are forever stuck in the rat race that is, you fight to either eat and not, you fight to not be eaten and you fight to eat. And that is survival mode. And in a way, it is hell, because it prevents you from really exploring what you are as an organism beyond that point. And I'm at a loss for words on the type of theory, but it's a triangle, and the base is, to ensure that you can feed yourself. And then if you have that base, then you can move on to being more loving and being more compassionate, because you're not so worried about yourself. And then as you move on from there, you start to realize that there's more to the world than yourself, and you become more compassionate. So you can see how the tiers go up. Humans are in a unique position where we can escape. We can escape survival mode and reach nirvana. It is the only way, because if you don't have the lower portions of the pyramid intact, it is impossible for you to reach the higher tiers. And this is where my compassion for animals really is rooted, because I honestly feel they have been dealt a really bad hand. If they had the ability, they would explore beyond that point, but they simply cannot. And I want to believe that that is what hell truly is, because you can never truly find peace as long as you are in that system. As long as you are being forced by circumstance to eat one another, to cheat one another, to only look out for yourself, that's hell. And although there are a few nice things, because there has to be, or there would be a mass suicide, for the most part, if you had to generalize, I would say that being stuck in survival mode is hell, and heaven is the ability to come out of it. The ability to come out of the cave, as Socrates taught. So long as you're in the cave, you're in that comfort zone, you will never understand what it is like to be free. And I want to believe that that is truly what the translation is saying. It is not saying eternal damnation in the way that everyone believes it. In my mind, animals are forever condemned to hell, because hell is survival mode, because they just can't escape it. And in Ezekiel, it talks about paradise. And paradise is when predator and prey no longer have to fight, when they can actually eat the same food source, which would be plants, and finally be at peace with one another. Because you can see that they can interact. You see dogs, a mother dog adopting a baby squirrel, whether in survival mode in the wild, they would be enemies. But it seems that they want to be peaceful. They want peace, just like we want peace. But they are victims to a system they can't get out of. And humanity has the ability to change that. And in ways we have been, in very small ways, we have been able to change that through those little adoptions. We make it possible, although we are nowhere near reaching paradise. But that is my thought process, and I just wanted to put it out there for anyone else who maybe thinks the same way. The heaven and hell really has more to do with your ability to escape survival, your ability to look beyond that and to be able to start to reach a divine status in the form like meditation teaches, the ability to reach nirvana, to realize that there is more to this world than yourself, and that is more valuable, especially when you go the route of no longer consuming others. You reach a point where you look back and you say to yourself, wow, I think I have escaped it. I'm finally at a point where I'm at peace, where my morals match the way that I eat, because my morals tell me to harm none, and I can finally do that. I can finally say to myself, I take it seriously. I harm no one. And I think that is the true heaven.